My friends, today is the day. It's cup final day. We take on PSV, but only one side can take the cup home. The other ones will fall short of the final hurdle and go home empty-handed. Find out how it goes today by joining me on this episode. Let's get started. It doesn't look like it has had then, and there is the full-time whistle. And for the first time in their history, the Graafschap have won a major title. And it is the Eredivisie as well. It's the coveted prize in the Netherlands. You can see what it means to the players. You can see what it means to the fans as Patrick celebrates coming through the youth academy. Played a massive part this season in it as well. It did not look like it was going to be the case. Honestly, this game was so frustrating to play. But the players celebrate. The fans celebrate. Are we going to see the trophy presentation in this game though? Because I don't know how it all works. We are going to see it. Yes. And it's going to be Sven Nuviport, I've probably butchered it, who's going to lift the title. Not exactly the man you'd want, as he hasn't played a massive part, but still, he's very much a Graafschap player. And as we can see, Zardes, instrumental in the early parts of the season, not so much in the second half. But here we go, for the first time ever, we are league champions. Do the honours. Hello everybody and welcome back then to another career mode episode. This is season 2 and it is the final episode, my friends, of season 2 today because, as I said earlier, we've got PSV in the cup final and we already mathematically secured our title win last episode. If you missed it, go back and check it out and of course you'll be able to see that. But for us, it means now the only game left we have is this one against PSV. We last played Vitesse. I've been in sim the other two games that we had to play against ADO, which we drew 0-0, and then Ep13, which we ended up losing by 2-1. But I did actually name weaker sides for both of those sim games because we had this final that I had to think about, and I didn't want any fitness issues, any injuries, or anything like that to come into play for this game today. So I made sure of that. After this, we'll sim the rest of the games in the season, Heerenveen and AZ Alkmaar. Take a look at the overall season, what we've done, what we've achieved, all that kind of stuff. And then end off season 2, and then hopefully next time out, go into season 3. But of course, between then, there'll be a goal of the season video going out for you guys to vote on the poll. So, I don't want to waste any time today. I want to pretty much get straight into the thick of things and take on PSV for this. Just to let you know as well, it's going to be longer, 6 minutes and a half instead of the usual 4. Obviously, ultimate as always. But the thing is, coming into this game, I don't know who's favourites. We have, of course, just won the league. But PSV traditionally have been a very, very good side in this league. And they're one that you can't deny are probably the best team at the moment in Holland. Yes, we've just won the league. But I do think that their team on paper is just stronger than ours in terms of that one. So it's going to be a tough one today. But we're going to give it everything we've got. And hopefully at the end, we'll be seeing us do the domestic double. Our side is selected. I am sure PSV's is as well, as we are about to go into this one. I don't particularly want them playing in that kit. What about their away kit, maybe? But it is very, very, very bright, isn't it? Maybe I could just go home against their home. I don't think that's pretty similar. Let's go both home kits. But like I said, 6 minutes. We are playing at the Johan Cruyff Arena, which I believe is, obviously, is that Ajax's ground. So it is a neutral venue in Holland. And it's at least not, PSV's ground or anything like that. Our side is primed. They're set. They're ready. De Groot is going to be the man to watch on that left-hand side. Remember how good he has been playing recently. De Groot is definitely the player for me to watch in this final. If he has a good game, I think we come out on top. Similarly to Ravel Morrison, who has been so good this season for us. But I just think Daniel De Groot has that little bit of quality that will open up PSV. And into game we go then. Both sets of fans are in the ground. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what the fans are thinking of the Graafschap after a unbelievable league victory where we came away as title winners? We are now potentially in a position to do the domestic double as we take on PSV. They got here on the left-hand side. You can see their results. You can see ours on the right. We absolutely smashed Ajax in the quarterfinals at this place, I think it was as well. So we know that we can do it. Erdegaard player to watch alongside Hirving Lozano. We've seen Lozano before. We know the quality he's got. I'm intrigued to see the rest of the PSV side. They've beaten us once this season. We've beaten them once. So it's a 50-50 battle, I'd say, between these two sides. I don't even know what to say, whether or not we're going to be favourites, their favourites. It's just too close to call. And the fact of the matter is, I don't want to sound harsh, but whichever way the referee leans, I feel will be the side that wins it. That's the bias in me talking, though, isn't it? Oh, man, let's do this. I mean, worst case scenario, we lose the game, we still win the title in the league. You know, we've still done that, and that's still a massive achievement. But now we're here. I want the double. Obviously, you've seen our side, but there it is again for you all to take a look at. Strong bench as well. Chong, Herrera, Zardes, Bahui. All attacking options. Vet, Shard, and Niviport as well, should we want to go a bit more defensive. They are also on the bench, and there is the 11 that start the game. It's highlighted Daniel de Groot, but also Erdegaard on the other side, and Boadu for that matter. In fact, everybody out there is going to need to pull their weight. For PSV, though, this is their lineup. Zoet in goal. Dumfries, Jesus, Viergever and Angelino at the back. Very strong back four. Thomas Gutierrez, Ramsler in the midfield three, with Lozano, Bergwijn, and Romero as a front three. So if I remember rightly, last time we played them, their number 7 was a danger man, and I don't think he's starting today. In which case, that's giving me a little bit of confidence. But we will be the team to get this final off and running. And here we go then. Massive, massive game. Lovely win back as we get the ball again. And here goes Gibbs White again. Now Ravel Morrison, look at the space for Erdegaard. Who's in the box here, Erdegaard? Can he find a finish? No, he's in the post, but he's back out, and Daniel de Groot smashes it home. I say smash. He literally just put anything he could on it. And first blood is drawn in this final. And it's that guy that I spoke about before we started. But it's the finish from Erdegaard that nearly makes the goal initially. He has his effort, which comes back off of the post. And it just falls to the feet of Daniel de Groot. And he just taps it home. Dumfries so far has not had the better of our wide midfielder. That battle surely is one that wins this final. Whoever can get the better, I think, is the team that wins. And so far, we strike first. PSV have not really woken up yet. But I bet you they certainly will. Boadu, now look at it again. Daniel de Groot yet again under control. What can he do with the ball though, de Groot? Sends his man one way and goes the other. Daniel de Groot, and Zoet saves it. Dumfries is getting annihilated down that side. Daniel de Groot's had his number all game long so far. And we just couldn't finish it. Hope we don't come back to rue these. And that's a lovely one too with Bergwijn. Lovren 6 wrong-sided here. This is not the position you want to be in at fullback. Bergwijn turns inside the area. Still going here. And Van den Berg with an absolutely brilliant challenge. And in the process, looks like he might have injured Bergwijn. And immediately we go up the other end. De Groot again is in behind. What is happening in this game? De Groot, Dumfries does well enough. And I believe that might just be a goal kick. Nope, it is a corner, but there is an injury to Bergwijn. Is he going to have to come off? And that would be a big, big miss if PSV have to bring him off. Erdegaard delivers the corner. Up goes Boadu, but he's would have taken something stupid there to score that because he had his back to goal. Here come PSV. Hervin Lozano from distance, and Sherpin is there, but it's back out, and Bergwijn at the moment, who obviously did pick up that knock, is still out there. And it would be a massive help for us if he does have to go off, of course. It would be disappointing for him to have to come off in this final, but for us it would be a big player missing for PSV if he does have to in fact leave the field of play. But for the moment it's PSV trying to get themselves back in this one then. Van den Berg, absolutely tremendous tackle, wasn't it, on that Bergwijn challenge that seemed to pick him up the knock. But he seems alright now, Bergwijn. Yeah, he is. He doesn't have to come off, I don't think. He looks alright again. Nah, Strauman's just put it in his own net. For crying out loud, Strauman! This is what I'm talking about. At times, Strauman looks so good, and then other times he does stuff like this. Just head it out for the corner. Oh, Strauman, man. Do you know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. Such a bad defensive header. I have to see it again. I'm pretty sure he aimed to put it out for the corner, but he seems to just completely miss the ball, doesn't he? No, well, I'm not even heading it that way, but it doesn't really matter because the touch is off Strauman. PSV have their equaliser, and it's come from absolutely nothing. Strauman. So disappointed in him. Great win back from Gibbs White, though. Can we break on them now? Gibbs White carries. Erdegaard finally makes that move. Erdegaard back in towards him, though, because there's not much going on. Boadu, look at Ravel Morrison. Sends Morrison in. Morrison to finish, not a great first touch again. Zoet saves it, but Daniel de Groot again just taps it home. 2 of the same goal for Daniel de Groot in this final. And when I highlighted him as a danger man, I didn't mean as a tap-in maestro. I meant actually a creative force. But he's tapped home 2 massive goals. Ravel Morrison's first touch was not fantastic, but he still got his shot on target. And Zoet could only make the save that kept the ball in play. And Daniel de Groot has his second of the game, and we are back in front. Oh my goodness me, that was a chance. I could have played de Groot in down the left. Ref. But at half-time, we lead by 2-1, and it has been a very open final. I'm still going to say this now. I can't call it. I genuinely can't call it, because there's still time. And as we saw, Straumann, I don't know what that defensive header was. We do look a little bit prone to errors at the back. I mean, Van den Berg, I have to say, he's having a very good game. That tackle on Bergwijn, and since then, has been a rock. It's his partner, it's Straumann, that's causing us a few issues. But usually, like I said, Straumann's so good. But then there's other times when he does stuff like that. So I don't really know, to be fair. Should I bring him off? Should I keep him on? I don't think I need to make too many changes at half-time. And we are back off and running for the second half of football. There's no changes on our side. I don't know if there's any on the PSV side, because, of course, we can't see that just yet. As Bergwijn and Patrick battle for possession immediately in the second half, and Patrick gets the beating of him. Got a big 45 coming up here, and immediately we start off on the front foot. Here goes Gibbs White. Daniel needs to make that run. Why is he so still? Daniel de Groot there had to make the run again down the left, and he just stood there. Yeah, other than the 2 goals he's got, and this is going to sound strange, he scored 2 goals in the final. I don't think Daniel de Groot's been that great, to be fair, so far. I think he's got a lot more in his locker. As there is a delivery in towards the box. Can Straumann actually win it? No, Sherpen has to come out and punch it. Straumann looks a little bit all over the place at the minute. Not fancying my chances when he's around. 30 minutes to play as Dumfries has a throw in here, which they're going to be forced to play backwards. I mean, at this point, it's us just trying to see this one out, but it's, of course, going to be a tough test against one of the best sides in the league. Lozano turns away and gets past one as De Groot's back doing a bit of defending. Lozano with another fake shot, pulls it back towards the same area. Thomas, ball inside to Pereiro, scored 2 against us last time we played them. Lovren 6 gets a touch on that, and Gibbs White does enough. And we get away with the ball here, but that's not a great pass from Ravel Morrison in towards the feet of Boadu. And we lose it, but Gibbs White again is there. Gibbs White's having a decent final, to be fair. Boadu again, out towards De Groot, who can keep it in and try and make something happen. Easy ball to Patrick, back down the line to De Groot. Good play so far. De Groot's attempted ball in. Cleared away. Van den Berg can't be leaving his position like that. Got to be careful where he's going there. Boadu, Erdegaard. De Groot's looking to get in behind again. Dumfries gets a touch on it, but it's not going to be enough. And De Groot yet again is trying to get the better of him. As he's still got it here, Daniel De Groot, and still now gets the cross in, and there's Chong! And that will do it, my friends! We are going to win in the cup final! It's Daniel De Groot who makes the goal, but it's the substitute Chong who scores it. But the man that we highlighted before kickoff has scored 2 and set up the other one, and that will do it. Daniel De Groot, a name to remember. What a cross and what a header. Yes! And I mean, to be fair, if you actually look at the way our goals have gone in today, they have been fairly scrappy. Daniel De Groot had 2 tap-ins, which came off the goalkeeper and off the post, and that is not great from PSV as they lose it again. Just seems like they're taking a few weird touches so far, as Vet's going to play a 1-2 with Chong, and here we go then. It could be number 4. Chong sees Daniel De Groot, back post. De Groot! What's going to be given here? It looks like just a corner. He's fine then, that's fine. Erdegaard to swing it in, and there is going to be the header from Straumann. It goes over the top of the crossbar, but it's seeing the clock out. Like I said, the goals that we've got today, 2 scrappy tap-ins from De Groot, and then the other one was a fantastic cross, but it was a free header, or at least a header from a close range. But it doesn't matter how they go in, as long as you get the goals. PSV, who scored that weird equaliser through Bert Straumann's header into his own net, have been beaten. The best side in Holland, currently on form, which is us, of course, have triumphed. And PSV, who finished second, or well, actually haven't finished second because the Eredivisie is still going on, who are currently second place, have been bested. And I love it. Domestic double forers, get in. friends, what a season this has been. Title winners, cup winners. The only thing we couldn't do is get through in the Europa League, which at the moment, I mean, look at those match facts. What a final it was from us. And I think this is what I'm talking about. We are actually probably now the best side in Holland. Haven't done it so much in the Continental Cup, so in the Continental Europa League type stuff, have we, though? Wasn't so great in there. But Daniel de Groot, man of the match performance. Unsurprising, really. Scored 2, set the other one up. And PSV at that today were just subpar. They've beaten us this season quite comfortably before. And since then, they gave us one heck of a battle at our place, which we scrapped a 1-0 winning. We come into a final, I think the occasion got to them because we were by far the better team then. It didn't look even relatively close at the end. But it was quite the performance, wasn't it, from a few of our guys out there. Gibbs White needs a special mention. He was sensational. Owusu at left back kept Lozano quiet. You know, there's a lot of players out there that did do very, very well and helped us onto that win. But, my friends, that's going to do it pretty much for this season. So I'm going to go ahead now. I'm going to sim the last 2 games of the season, of course, because we can't be mathematically caught. We're going to come back. We're going to see who's won the Champions League, who's won the Europa League. We're going to see who did what this season for us, how well they've done. Then we'll sim into next season, check out our budget, and see what's happening, that type of stuff. Because, of course, we've all got things to look forward to for next year. Andy Carroll's coming. Milivojevic is coming. I hopefully got it right. Milivojevic. There was a comment telling me how to say it. Milivojevic, I think it is. But all that to look forward to. So let me skip past the last 2 games of the season, and I'll be back with you in just a second. So here we go then. How did we finish? We beat AZ Alkmaar 2-1 with a sim and lost to Heerenveen 2-1. But now who's got what award? That's the thing I'm looking at. What are we going to see? Are we going to have... By the way, I took over as Sweden boss. That's purely for scouting purposes. I will not be doing anything with them. I just wanted to see if there's any game-generated players coming through that are quite decent. But like I said, let's have a quick look then. Are we going to see any of our players win awards? That's the big thing. So, let's start with the team of the competition, which has in fact included Ravel Morrison's in there, Sherpin's in goal. I'm not surprised that we don't have any of our back 4 in there. Then, yeah, so only 2, Morrison and Sherpin. Sergius got in from Groningen. Not surprising either. He's an unbelievable player. The only problem is for us, of course, Zardes had a really good start to the season, then kind of dipped out. And then after that, dipped off rather. And then after that, of course, Boadu was injured for the start of the season. So neither one of them really would have made it into the team of the year. But I'm glad to see Morrison is in there because he does deserve a lot of credit this season. He was largely why we had such a good season. Lozano got Golden Boot with 16 goals to his name. Goalkeeper of the tournament did go to our Sherpin, but that's due to clean sheets, which we kept a lot of, and I don't think it was that fantastic overall. This is the big one, though. Player of the competition. If this isn't Ravel Morrison, that's unjust. It should be. Do you know what? I don't really understand it. I don't understand it. Like I said, Zardes was fantastic at the beginning, and he definitely, at that time, when he was so good, would have been as a shoo-in for Player of the Year, like Morrison was. But then following on from that, he just dipped off too much, whereas Ravel Morrison didn't. And personally, I think it should have been Ravel Morrison, who is also injured, by the way, just to let you guys know. He's injured for 6 days, but it's nothing serious. But considering he played 29 Eredivisie games, scoring 14 goals, assisting 9 as well, with a 7.9 match rating, which he had a better match rating than Zardes, who scored 12 and assisted 10. You got to remember Ravel Morrison's a cam as well. I mean, you know what? At least one of our players did win it. That's something. Congratulations to Zardes. Like I said, fantastic at the beginning. Not so great towards the back end, but I think that was down to obviously my play style. And of course, Boadu returned as well. That didn't help it because Boadu's fantastic too, and he had to get into the team. But I do think as well, Ravel Morrison maybe should have been in there. But still, we got a Player of the Year win, and that is something that we can say. So, how does it look for all of our players, and what did they achieve this season? Sherpin with 55 appearances, the top appearance maker in our side, played all games in Eredivisie, played all the games in the Europa League. Lovren 6, phenomenal. I think this might be his last season though. Obviously, we got him last year on a free contract, but I don't think he'll play as much next season. Shard's in on loan. He did all right. Van der Pava, okay. Niviport, okay. Van den Berg, very good. Very, very good. There were times this season, though, that he didn't necessarily perform. But you got to remember, he's only 18. So, bright future ahead of the guy. Straumann, Straumann. He did bits, didn't he, when we needed him to, but that final performance, I don't think that showcases how good he actually is. You know, that was a bit of a dip. Vandermeer played 10 times this season. Owusu, brilliant as always. I did want an upgrade on him in this season, and actually he did pretty well overall, I'd say. Considering that I was looking for an upgrade, he actually did pretty good. Vet, very good when he came into the team, actually. He scored a few goals, didn't he? We had then Patrick. What do you say about this guy? Patrick. He is going to be one of my favourite players in this series, I can already tell. Gibbs White, sensational in that final. Little bit hit and miss throughout the season. Some of you guys said that we should probably try and sell him because he hasn't performed, but he does all right. And in that final, he definitely showed why we signed him. Elsewhere, Baka played 19. But as we move down, you can see Bahui a bit less of this season. We also had Ravel Morrison playing 45. El Jebli played 28 with only 4 assists, but 2 goals in there as well. A lot of those were substitute appearances. We've got to remember that. Chong, 32 appearances in his first season at the club, wearing that number 7 shirt. Elusive number 7. Scored 12 goals in his time here so far as well. Bergzorg, decent. Probably going to be his last year as well. Erdegaard, on loan, of course. I think we've got him next year as well, because I'm pretty sure it's a 2-year loan. So he should be here next year too. Zardes, 16 in total is what he finished on for the goals. Bodu with 12. Arp's only goal was the title-winning goal that he got in the season. And of course, this man, 17 years old, Daniel de Groot, already looks like one for the future, doesn't he? Unbelievable in this season. I can't wait. 17 years old. He's got 3 years before he even touches 20, and by that time, he could well be in the high 80s. Scenes. The guy is going to be absolutely phenomenal. But that's it for our like kind of thing. I guess the only thing left to show you now is how we did actually in the league. See what we finished on in points, and then after that, check out who won the Europa League and who won the Champions League. So a quick look then at the league table. Here it is for you. Finishing, what's that, 13 points clear of PSV, who did actually grab second place. Convincing, wasn't it? 72 goals scored as well. Brilliant. So, we are at the end of the season now. I'm just looking again at potential job openings. I'm not going to go for any of these, but you can see Ajax still available, Feyenoord. So, potentially, every single team in the Eredivisie we could actually go to. Everybody wants us, all the big teams anyway. There's some English teams in the Championship. Fulham, who have won the league, want us as well. We'd have a £230 million transfer budget if we wanted to go there. And then, of course, they'd be playing in the Premier League because it's the end of the season now, so they're going to get promoted, but we could go there. Huddersfield in third, we'd have £30 million. Cardiff have 125. Even Leeds with 115. As you guys know, some of you know I'm from Leeds, but I actually did a career mode back in FIFA 17 with Leeds. I actually kind of wanted to go there again this year, but I decided not to do that. So, yeah, they're available. We've got Middlesbrough with less money. Norwich with even less money. They struggled this season. They were intent. But you can see, so right now, they're the sort of sides potentially that we'd have to go to from here once we do obviously leave the club and go elsewhere. But yeah, quite interesting to say that. Anyway, there's not going to be any sort of thing from me going there or anything like that. I'm going to let it play out and see what happens. But for us, that is the end of the season. So let's take a quick look then at the Champions League first. Who won that? Who came out on top in the Champions League? And then obviously see who came out on top in the Europa League. So Atletico Madrid beat Manchester City in the Champions League final. I've just backed out by accident. Not my finest hour. Europa League, then after we were knocked out, who went on to win the Europa League title? I don't think we'd have ever won it, so it's not like I want to sit here and say we would have, because that just would not have been the case. And in the end, my friends, it was won by Liverpool, who beat Milan. Liverpool got through on aggregate after beating the side that knocked us out 6-2. So yeah, Liverpool ended up winning the Europa League. But that does it for our second season. We're going to head off into season 3, check out our budget, then we'll come back, obviously, for a goal of the series from season 2 before we upload the first episode of season 3. So end off the season, they should tell me that I've done a really good job. Yeah, board could not be happier, neither could I. Thank you very much, board. Let's move into season 3. Are you going to reward me with your happiness by giving me a load of money to spend? That's the question. Alright, so I've seen the budget. It's not a lot to work with. For considering we're in the Champions League, £10 million, £67,000 a week. Not ideal. I've also checked ahead and seen the pre-season tour that we're playing in, which is Fulham, Marseille and Brighton for £7 million. To be fair, I just don't see how we'll get out of the Champions League not having much money. I know there's not a lot of money in this league, but considering the magnitude of the Champions League and obviously how much we've got, I don't think we're going to get out of it, put it that way. So we'll see. We'll see what it brings. But we've got a few new additions then, and as you can see, they have joined the club. So Ep13 is here. Could always move Owusu out to right back because he can play there. He's actually right-footed as well. We've got Milivojevic, who's coming to centre of midfield, but it does mean that potentially one of Gibbs White, Morrison, or Patrick will have to miss out. Probably not Patrick, because you guys know I love him. Weak foot, 5-star. He's just a beast. Got really good free kicks and long shots actually now as well. And with big Andy Carroll joining the club, Herrera, Zardes, and Boadu are our other 3 strikers. So now we have 4 alongside Ep2. So we got to get rid of a couple of those. But to be fair, I don't really know what to say, because I expected a bit more money than £10 million. Got to be honest. So we'll see what that brings. But if you got any suggestions for players, leave them down below. It's not a lot of money to work with, so I don't know what I'll be able to do. There's no jobs available now, of course. The new season has got underway, so we can't go anywhere else. We have to stay for the moment. But that's going to do it for today then. A massive thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed it, a like would be greatly appreciated. As always, massive thank you for the support as well. If you are new around here, like what you see, hit that subscribe button down below. We will have the goal of the season poll coming out in the near future, so make sure you stay tuned for that as well. And of course, Season 3 will start in the coming days, so do leave your suggestions down below. I will see you all again very soon for another video. Have a fantastic day. Catch you again later. Adios.